There he is. Samsung SMX200.
It's working.
Can't hear
you.
He's a professional. Nick Harding, straight in, full named, on mute.
How do I get off mute?
How are we doing?
Too bad.
You did. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mo?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mo? Why do you look 12 years older, Mo?
Hello?
I've got a
Can you hear
filter
me?
on. I can hear you.
Am I the only one that can't?
Can you hear me, Wiggy?
Here we are.
I can hear you.
I can hear you both. I can hear you both.
All right.
How are we doing? What are you eating there? Bloody hell.
It's a lot of greens.
Sorry. I am eating my tea. Apologies. Is that all right?
I deferred mine, but no, crack on. Hang on, let me just get me. Hang on, let me just put my box in. Hang on.
Have you got 4 whites?
What are you eating? What's for dinner?
Salad.
How are we doing? It is cricket themed, isn't it?
What was it?
It is now.
Because I currently feel like I'm on some kind of come dine with me episode, and lovely that. Just get a bloody mouthful of that in. Lovely stuff. Record this. That'll be cracking. I can't wait to play this back.
Oh, it's recorded.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Squash, Nick.
No, I'm on the herbal teas at the minute. I'm on coffee for 4 weeks. I haven't had since I was ill. I'm just on tea, green tea, radish alert. It's good.
Why are you off coffee?
Don't know. I just went off the taste when I was ill, and I got into pucker teas, and what I can't work out is how a brand with the same name as Pucker Pies can be top of the range. It doesn't make sense, but it is.
Which came first? The pie or the tea?
It's mad, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
He'll be making an appearance.
What you got, Phil? What you got for dinner?
Salad with a bit of Cajun potatoes and some quiche.
Oh yeah, nice. Trying to poke summer around the corner. Lovely stuff.
It's not happening, is it?
It's too cold for salad and quiche, man.
So,
come on, heads, eyes down.
We have got right. Okay, so
that's golf. It's golf. I've lost it.
Right. I've got the list of things here. So let's start. So firstly, we haven't got a title. So at the moment, this is officially the untitled, possibly, well, definitely now, thanks to you, Nick, cricketing podcast. So I guess the first big question is, why are we here today?
Is this what I'm going to go out with this? We just having a chat. Is this the actual thing?
I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, if this goes out, then we haven't got.
I'm just eating my tea, basically. We're just having a chat.
I mean, I'm not sure how much of that we'll use. We'll use the Nick Harding box.
Editing.
You wouldn't walk into a job interview eating quiche. So is this a dry run? You haven't got the job. You just gotta you gotta take this a bit more seriously, Phil.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like 2 of the 3 of us have at least bothered to dress up. I'll let the audience decide which 2 out of the 3 that is.
So we're going with the no named cricketing podcast.
What else have we got?
Yeah.
I've literally got a pen and pad here ready to jot down ideas. So at the moment, it's no name cricketing podcast.
Square cuts and quiche.
One for the throw.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Egg on a cup.
Egg on a cup.
It's the sheep.
What's that mean?
See how sheep it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sure.
Oh yeah. Sheep on a cup.
Sheep on a cup. Well, that can come later, can't it?
Why not? We wouldn't want it to be too professional, would we? So at the moment, TBC, the non-named cricketing podcast. Why are we here? Philip Adams. Sorry, Samsung SM-X200.
That's up my name, is it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Going to be a lot of editing.
So now we just talked about it in the where were we? In the what pub we're in on the Welly Road?
Jackal?
Jekyll and Hyde, wasn't it?
I think it was that one where is that the one where they're doing karaoke? Yeah, that'd be the one. Yeah, just got mentioned then, and it's snowballed really, isn't it? I mean, we're struggling to keep on top of it. Really, it's just snowballed into something. It's just gone a bit crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the way I see it is, or the way it was explained to me when this was first come up, it's one person that knows nothing particularly about cricket and isn't particularly interested in cricket. One person who has travelled the world to watch cricket, and one person who seems to be somewhere in the middle of probably knows a lot about cricket but hasn't travelled around the world particularly to watch it. So that's kind of the expertise that we've got on show here. Is it fair to say that is mostly going to be focused on the local I didn't know how to describe it, friendly cricketing club, AC Squirrels, with some other stuff thrown in?
I think so, yeah. The points I got, it was why we did a podcast, covered that. Squirrels CC, covered that.
Well, we haven't really. Let's start with the history of how we're here is friendly cricketing club the right term? Because we don't play in a league or anything.
Social friendly, yeah.
Social cricketing club. So every summer we play on average, 20 games?
Yeah.
15 to 20?
Yeah.
Against other clubs, some professional.
No, some local clubs or just some other social midweek teams. We've been going since 2000 and was it Sandy Mountain?
I'm
sorry,
2015.
Big 10 next year.
Obviously, we were established from a football club. Well, AC Squirrels is a football club. Obviously, we got too shit and old to do that. Moved on to cricket. As a lot of people that played in the football club also had some experience of playing cricket.
What we say, 2/3 maybe?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Sort of ratio, is it?
I mean, I've got no idea what the average is.
Yeah,
we do all right. We do all right.
So started off with a few games, and it's just snowballed, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Second snowball reference, lovely.
And we've got with regular fixtures every season, tours, awards nights, local kit, merchandise, just all popping off. Podcasts,
burgeoning Instagram following.
Yeah.
Oh, massive Instagram following.
Mention on tail enders.
184 followers.
It's good. Good.
So I would say if by the end of this podcast run we've pushed that up to 200 plus.
I think that's success.
Absolute success. That's the matrix we'll base it on.
Yep.
Lovely. So I don't know anything about, and this is going to seem stupid. One of the things that I'd like to do is maybe bring a word of the week for you to explain it to me.
Jargon corner.
Because I was thinking about this leading up to this podcast. I've not I don't think I've given anything less effort than I have to learn the first thing about cricket, being that I've played for this team for 9 years now. I still don't know fielding positions. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. I often get to bowl, and I think for somebody with all those credentials, I'm quite the successful bowler. Like, it is ridiculous. Anybody that has got out to one of my bowls, shame on you if you've ever played cricket before. I would say is the first thing to say. Second thing to say is I still don't have a clue what I'm doing and wonder about the field when people tell me to go to off leg. So that would be the first thing I'd like you to explain to me.
I think that's a sign of cricket for all. You know, you don't need to know the jargon.
No.
You just need a bloody good attitude, a
Tick,
smile,
tick.
and a willing mind.
And some whites.
And yeah, white's crucial actually. And a big bank
Oh, well,
balance.
not necessarily today, because wear non-white socks.
I remember once somebody played in shorts and people went mental about it. And I did remember thinking to myself, it seems a bit over the top how put out some people are of somebody playing cricket in shorts when they're wearing big pants anyway for most of it.
Or black trainers. I remember the first time I saw some black Astro boots with a pair of cricket whites. It was
Yes, and no,
scandalous.
You got to keep some traditions, don't
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll expand on that. We'll expand on that.
Wearing whites, but yeah, we could do jargon second. But obviously, like I said, the fielding positions don't really matter, does it? Just stand waist, just still stand in the circle and see what happens in it.
I'm still impressed after 9 years of me not knowing and not understanding where to go that some people will still shout those directions at me and just watch me bamboozle.
Yeah, that's the fun of it.
That's better.
That
I get.
Keep it simple.
Out by the flag. I like that. That's easy. Get that a lot. Out by the flag. That's good.
But to be fair to you, bear in mind you didn't play any cricket. Did you play cricket when you were a kid? When was your first cricket playing with schools?
Yeah, so I had one game when I was about 13. It's a true story. It's over at St Andrews in Northampton. They had a little cricket club there, and there was a hospital team that somehow, well, Dave, my brother, he played a little bit, so he went as a 11-year-old. This was with fully grown adults. It's a good mixed sport. And when we got there, me and Mum went to watch because Mum worked at the hospital. That's how this happened. And they were short a player. And I said, "Oh, I don't mind playing." And Mum was absolutely terrified that I was going to embarrass her because I'd never played before. And I don't know where I got this confidence from as a 13-year-old. But then they said, "Have you ever bowled before?" And I said, "Yeah." And bowled a couple of overs and took 3 wickets. So there we go. That was my only game of cricket before joining Squirrels.
I mean, in your contrast to that, Wiggy, who was basically pedigree from a young age, absolute pedigree.
So when was your first game?
Adults cricket. My first game was probably about 12, but I spent a lot basically because my father played every Saturday and Sunday, so my childhood was every Saturday and Sunday would be all day at cricket, which but it was fun at the time. It was fun at the time, but yeah, probably about 12. About 12 years old. I remember it would have been a Sunday friendly match. I'm guessing someone had dropped out, so I needed to fill in, and I didn't have any whites at that stage, so I wore a pair of my mum's trousers, white cream trousers.
And you were conceived after Dodge got 98 not out in the 81 season away at Loddington.
Possibly, yeah.
On the 5th of July. So,
and your mum was wearing those cream trousers.
Yeah.
just on Wiggy's pedigree,
Yeah.
nothing was more sort of clear to me than when in the boys' brigade team, Wiggy was made captain by the cricketing legend Sam Harrison, partly because of his ability, but partly because we could use the ground for home games at Crispin, so it's fine. Mainly ability.
An ability there.
I can't remember. I think it must have been boys' brigade.
Yeah, Boys Brigade would have been first as a junior, yeah. So, I mean, that was, what was it, 12, 10 years old?
Yeah. And I remember all I remember about those early years was pads, but they weren't Velcro, they were belt buckle. And at that age, you only had shorts, so you're putting a belt buckle onto bare skin, running up and down quickly. It was an absolute bloodbath. I mean, just get some Velcro. It must be more expensive to have a belt buckle, 3 belt buckles and Velcro. Those kids just like bleeding to death. If you got more than 10 runs, you basically needed a transfusion. Absolute carnage. So yeah, that was a tough I guess it's tough to endure. I say wearing belted pads as a 12-year-old is like an overseas tour to India as a test player. It's just tough to endure for what's to come.
That's what they said.
Yeah, then boys brigade, good grounding at the BB.
That's how you two met, right?
Yeah.
So when I met you both, neither of you played cricket. So when did that stop?
That was insane.
Did we not?
Yeah, no, but it's just Mo asking when we met. Funny.
Well, I forget. I know it's BB or cricket or a combination of both.
Yeah, 7 years. BB would be, I suppose, 89. September
Yeah,
89.
we were 7, but we didn't play cricket straight away.
But I remember the one of the highlights of the early cricket days was a single wicket tournament where for a team sport, this was like the one chance where you had man oh man. So you would get drawn against someone and you would bowl 2 overs, maybe 12 balls at them. They get a score and then you had to beat it. And I mean, as a one-on-one sport, you're at the behest of a field full of absolute cretins that anything could happen.
We should do
Anything can happen.
We should do that. Why we've not got around to it.
Yeah,
Even like I mean, doing the draw would be the highlight of the day. That at the start of the day, doing the draw would be highlighted. Obviously, it would go down from there, but it would be quite a lot.
So what actually happens?
So basically, you just have a draw. So like everyone's name is the pot, and then it'd be like, right, Mo, you're playing against Limo, and you'd have like 12 balls against each other, and whoever scores the most wins goes through to the next round. But obviously, like I said, if you're not playing, so you're fielding. So obviously, and then like the next player would play their next game, things like that. So
it was incredible because we had a guy at BB called Ross McLean who went on to play for Northants County, a superb cricketer. But in the single wicket, he got caught out on the boundary by a lad called Andrew Wallbank, who was dreadful, and it was basically the equivalent of almost Coventry beating Man U.
I was going to say it's a bit like it was almost like yesterday.
Yeah. But anything can happen, and I think that sums up the sport. Yeah.
So that was your Crispin's was adult cricket and actually in a league.
Yeah.
They have 3 teams, is that right? First, seconds, and thirds.
Well, when we played, it was a lot smaller clubs, so they didn't have any junior sections, and like just 2 teams.
2 teams.
So obviously, your first team would be 11 decent cricketers, and the second team would just be a bit of a mishmash of everything, really. But
did you do both, start and second, to make your ways up to the top, or did you waltz straight into the firsts?
I played a bit in the firsts, but probably majority in the seconds. I think. But
the seconds was my level.
We did our thirds before, didn't actually. The 3 teams moved.
There was I remember a Sunday team and that was even more, I mean,
Yeah.
chaotic, really. But the best thing about it, again, and there's not many sports where you could get a 16-year-old playing with a 70-year-old, and it's all right. I remember once I got one of my early games, I was batting and the wicketkeeper was 68 years old, and he stumped me out. And
Wasn't he like 80 or something? Was it
yeah, he
like
might have
60?
been 80. He might have been 80.
Yeah, he was like renowned around Northamptonshire for being like the oldest cricketer still playing. He was in like the Quan and stuff, still playing cricket at like 84 years old, stumped him out. But I think that is a good point about cricket because it is a very technical sport. But really, you could just rock up and do all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember once when you, Philip Samsung Adams, invited me to make up the numbers of is it a sixes team?
Yes.
It was you, me, and 4 people I'd never met from Crispin's. And at the end of, I think we played 3 games within an afternoon or something like that. And at the end of the 3rd game, one of the guys that I'd never met from Crispin's said, "I'll tell you what, if you took this seriously, I reckon you could play for the thirds." Which I didn't think it was a compliment. But I only didn't think it was a compliment because of what you told me about the thirds. So yeah, that was probably one of sadly, my cricketing highlights. What's your most embarrassing getting out story, Philip?
Don't know. It's getting out all the same, isn't it? It's just get used to get out there.
I mean, Nick came prepared with a story. I thought you might have as well, but we'll move on.
Really, did
fine.
Oh, I'm not prepped. I didn't know.
Talked about a pensioner getting him out, and it rolled off the tongue so beautifully.
Oh, right.
Like
Well,
just off the top of his head.
That wouldn't really happen to me, to be honest. No thanks.
In your eyes,
But,
getting out is getting out. An orgasm is an orgasm is an orgasm.
yeah. I can't really think of not just getting alcohol tonight. I'll think about it next time.
Lovely stuff.
So in terms of Squirrels, then obviously we've got the season starts, doesn't it? In 2 weeks. I think first game is the 1st of May.
We've had 2 net sessions. Again, something I don't fully understand the point of, but we've had 2 net sessions.
Well, last week's net session it was throwing down with rain all night for an hour and a half, and we still did it. And there's no reason why 10, 40-year-old men should be doing that. 40 plus men should be doing that. But we did it, so that's silly.
Just camaraderie, isn't it? Just shows the bond.
But they had a bar there showing the football.
I think that was probably the key. Actually, it shows the fact there was a bar there showing the football.
Should have just done that. So yeah.
Did you ever think though? Talking about nets. I remember as a youngster when you're a bit of a erratic bowler, the net was never high enough, was it? The amount of balls I just looped on top of the net. It's like just make it a bit higher.
I think that's more to do with your bowling style.
Next, but interestingly, like I think, like you mentioned yourself, Mo.
Yeah,
I think bowling's a lot harder. I think if it, like you could go out and swing a bat and be it's like baseball, isn't it? That's what mystifies me about Adam House. You've cracked the harder skill. It's unbelievable.
It's not wrong.
Not wrong. So it just shows, doesn't it?
Do you prefer bowling to batting, though?
Yeah, I'm absolutely petrified of batting. I fully hate every aspect of it, and I'll tell you for why. Because we play either 18 or 20 overs in a friendly, and obviously, unless we're drawing cards, I'm usually further up the pecking order. What I love and hate is the fact that if we've got a couple of people that have got their 25 and therefore have to come out of the game, I'm explaining for people that don't know the weird rules of social cricket. then it's my job to get out as quickly as possible or to score runs as quickly as possible. The times I hate it is when the opposing team realise that I'm not going to score many runs at all. So I purposely then just kind of bowl away from the wicket itself, making it increasingly difficult for me to get out as well. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for somebody that doesn't have the first idea what he's doing going in to play cricket. And at the same time, I feel like, and I know this is wrong, but I do feel like if I'd ever played a longer game, then I'd have time to get my eye in or all of the things that other people do quite naturally. And maybe I would have got a couple of runs in my time. But it's never going to happen now because I'm never going to say, do you know what, put me in first so that we've got 12 runs after 6 overs. It's just not going to happen. So, yes, I cannot stand it. I did enjoy the fact that about 2 or 3 seasons ago, Wiggy, you said you're not supposed to stand that far away from the wicket, which was the first ever bit of coaching I've been given in cricket. And has absolutely revolutionised my game in that I'm much closer to getting out LBW than I ever was before. So, yeah, that was fun.
But you can look at it on the flip side and think because there's no pressure on the batter. So no one, if you go in, just have a go at it. And
I've been on the sidelines when shit batters have stayed in for too long. I've seen how quickly a social club can turn furious when somebody is trying to get bat on ball and not even bothering to run. I don't ever want to be that person.
You wouldn't expect that from your own brother. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It can turn very quickly.
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah, I see your point.
So I thought of a way to close our first episode, which is predictions for the season. So the predictions I thought of whilst we've been talking, not that it hasn't been riveting. I think it's when Wiggy was giving us one of his many hilarious getting out stories. Most runs scored this season, which squirrel? So we'll start with that. Pick a name. Most runs scored this season, which squirrel? Nicholas Harding.
I think Walters is back in the game this season. I think childbirths, a thing of the past now. Family life is steady. I think he's going to fill his boots.
Love that. Walters.
I would say Walters, but I've heard he's unavailable for a couple of games this season.
Interesting.
So, which may affect the old total. So just to be different from Limo, I'll say D Carter.
D Carter. I'm going to go, and this will shock you. I'm going to go for D House for most runs scored this season. Okay, most wickets taken. This time we'll start with you, Phil. Make it fair.
I will say Treen.
Oh, relative newcomer Martin Treen.
Wow.
Harding.
Chapman. Michael. Assistant to the regional NHS director.
Chappie.
What are you going to say?
Who's that leave?
With Dave.
Yeah.
Magsy, Georgie, Carter.
Let's go, Mags. Let's go,
Harding.
Kerr's been actually snubbed.
Most ducks.
Most ducks. I'll start this one.
Can't vote for yourself.
Hey. Let's go. Who goes for it and often gets a duck? Let's go Pooks. I'm going to go Pooley for most ducks.
Gosh.
What I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it can just mean somebody that's going for the big scores.
Yeah.
Not a defensive player. He's forward thinking. It's like Duckett.
Yeah.
It's in knowledge. Nick?
Clues, Justin. Shh.
You won't like that.
He's never watching.
I can feel his anger from here.
I'll go for Adam House.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Any others? Are there any other classic ones that we can predict?
We could do catches for a non-wicket keeper. Is that? I mean, not that we have loads of caught behinds, you know.
Most catches, not wicket keeper. Okay,
Or,
Phil.
no, really. Who keeps wicket? House.
Which one?
D.
Okay. I need to say it like that, mate.
Wait.
Limo?
What are we guessing? Most catches non.
Well, that's what I was going for here. Most catches, non-wicket keeper, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing most wicket keeper.
We're doing that
Most
last.
games have the wicket keeper.
Glad you vote, mate.
Yeah. You want to change it?
What's the question?
Most catches, non-wicket keeper. Always the same.
What I just said. Oh yeah, stick it. Whatever it is, yeah. Stick with what I said.
Great. Passionate. Right. Limo. What did you say?
That was like Monty Panesau on Mastermind. That was. What
was his specialist subject?
I will go for
Ignored.
Philip Adams.
Adam.
What was Monty's specialist subject?
The funniest stump outs of Philip Adams.
Still stump out, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going Nicholas Kerr for most outfield catches.
Good one.
Oh, yeah. What? I've got a question for you. What are you most looking forward to this season?
I'll probably have two things. No fines, because it gets just too emotive, doesn't it? I think that nearly ripped the heart out of the club last year. And Magsy being the only person to be allowed a battered sausage in a chip shop post-match meal.
Lovely.
Elitist scum.
I think probably at some point this season, Chris Pell telling us on the Squirrels WhatsApp that he's unavailable to play, even though he retired 2 seasons ago. I'm looking forward to that. I always do.
I'll probably have two. My first one's going to be Tor.
Where is Tor this year?
Cirencester. Chichester.
Cirencester,
yeah.
Classic.
M5 corridor.
Other one would be yeah, no fine.
Weird that you said 2 and had a second one ready.
No, but I didn't. It's not really fair just saying talk, because obviously that's at the end here. I felt that was a bit to say. The thing I'm looking forward to is at the end of the season. It's not great. It's not a great sort of start, is it? So, doing the podcast, playing cricket, scoring runs, not scoring.
That's 5.
Dropping catches.
6.
Seeing Mo in his whites.
7. I'm looking. I mean, it's getting out of hand, but I'm looking forward to the Wiggy's tea intro to the weekly podcast. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I imagine the next thing it'll be Bovril in a heat wave.
Did you say you had like a jingle or something, or badge or whatever?
Yeah. I'll send those through. We're not going to play them on the show, but
we need a name.
At the moment, let's just make this clear that if this does go out, and it's a big if, we don't have a title yet. We're yet to have a theme tune, and at best, we've got a loose grasp on what exactly this may or may not be.
I'm a bit slightly off tangent, but on a tangent, I was sat at my sort of home work desk, and I've just realised I've got 4,000 business cards with the wrong phone number on, and that is an absolute travesty. And I can't overwrite everyone.
Just scribble it out.
In the world nowadays,
I'll have to do a reorder.
Oh, Jesus Christ! How wrong is it? How many numbers off are you?
I don't even know. I can't remember what it is. Obviously, it's really bad.
You got a business card, Phil?
No.
Me neither. I'll be honest with you. I thought they went out with the buckled pads, but you're keeping them alive, Nick, and that's great to see.
I wish I hadn't then could have just took the edge off the buckle with a couple of business cards back in the day. But now I'm gonna have to.
You could have used this card to protect the skin on the buckle.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So it kept spoiling. Oh, it's been said. Sorry.
Jude was bringing in a Knickerbocker glory. It's -4. It's -4. Get the Calipos out.
Does anyone know who our first game is against?
Yep. South Northants at the what's the ground called? Raymond.
Good ground.
White ground. Something like that.
Everybody loves Raymond Pavilion.
Oh, Nets is on this Thursday. Wasn't on before.
Okay, lovely. So next Monday we'll have a further update on our last version of Nets. We will preview our first game against South Northants, including potentially how we've done against them in the past. Wiggy will be eating weather inappropriate food. Limo will be putting in maximum effort, and I'll be somewhere in the middle. Thank you very much for joining us.
The ground is called the Dock White ground.
Dock White. Wasn't that a Cluedo character?
It's a team that Smudge has played for a few times.
I know, you'd have to bring it back to him. He's gone. You got to forget it. You got to move on. He would not be eating quiche on a freezing cold Monday.
Sorry, Mo. That was a good outro.
Well, we'll never know if it was a good outro or not, Phil. But at least you can send this to Smudger now and tell him that you've mentioned his name once. So everyone's a winner in a way, apart from the listening public. Yeah, we will see you.
What we doing about name?
What? I mean, have we decided on one?
Stop ruining the outro, man.
We need a name. It's the whole advertising, isn't it? Merch and stuff.
Well, at the moment, top of the bill.
Go on, what's the option?
At the moment, top of the bill is the yet untitled cricketing podcast. So, what else did we have?
Square cut quiche.
Square cut quiche.
The ones I had here were thigh guard, square leg squirrels.
Got an extra boat in the background there.
Where's Angus Fraser? That might be a bit niche.
Where's Angus Fraser? Where's that from?
I just made it.
That's good.
I'm sitting on the train this morning.
Is that where he was?
He wasn't there. No, that's where I was when I thought of that name. And Chroma Pier. I know that's something else. That's holiday. That's it.
HMRC. Oh no.
I had another list there of Chroma Pier, crabbing. That's not an actual podcast. That's the one.
Crabbing podcast.
Crabbing at Chroma Pier.
Radish salad. No.
So square cut quiche, thigh pads. Where's Angus Fraser?
Square leg squirrels.
I haven't even bothered writing that one down, to be honest with you, Phil. I mean,
Come on, Laura. What you got?
Out of the other three, Laura, which one do you like the most?
Tell me that.
Square cut quiche.
Yeah.
Thigh pad.
Yeah.
Where's Angus Fraser?
The pad one.
Thigh pad podcast. There we go. That's apparently what we're doing. Is that what we're doing?
It does roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
In a way.
I feel like the thickness of whatever Kitty is wearing really does put an exclamation point into what a ridiculous dinner you've eaten tonight.
It's insane.
Potatoes with what?
You basically sat in the ice hotel in Corston eating quiche. It's absolute madness.
Laura's quiche was what? Mine was cold.
It's just ridiculous.
I need to go blue. It's not the type of podcast this is. Okay, next week we will give an update on the final net session from this week. We will preview South Northants, where an ex-Squirrel player may or may not be making an appearance, and we will no doubt have much more interruptions. Thank you very much for joining us for this first initial go. Thank you from Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you from Nick.
Can I just shout out to the sponsors for the season? The Lidl 100 spectacle whites for £3. If I'd love to polish those, I don't know how I can do that on Zoom. If anyone knows any good business card suppliers, thanks for listening.